Professor,
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Thank
This
you.
is the results of my reflections, my research, and I'd like to listen to your comments and let's start it. And you can connect your camera, please.
Yes. And thank you for interesting and inspiring lecture. Now I suppose the participants have question to you. Bardzo proszę pana profesora, tylko panie profesorze, pan profesor będzie na ekranie, jeżeli pan profesor tu usiądzie przed kamerą, bo mamy tylko laptopie. The question have Professor Tadeusiewicz, Chief Director of Metallurgy in English.
AGH University. The proper name of our university is AGH University of Science and Technology now, but former name was Academy of Mining and Metallurgy, but it is former name. I would like to ask a question about details. I'm impressed, like all my colleagues here in our auditory, in your presentation, in your experience in e-learning, but I have a question very precise. How to divide goals and how to divide jobs between computer and real teacher. You are right that the best method of communication and the best model of e-learning is blended learning, of course. But in blended learning, very important problem is how to spread these goals and these areas of activities between real teacher and between media and other elements, technological elements. It is not easy because, in fact, the different properties and different possibilities are connected with, in one part, technology, multimedia, computers, networks, and so on. And very different elements of teaching, very important in every intellectual formation, is natural contact between teacher, named master, and student who need not only knowledge but also wisdom. Wisdom of the teacher, wisdom formatted in his or her brain during contacts. And how to divide this process between technology and human components.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. It's, I should say, a very updated and very interesting question. I should say that the most important point of our teaching are our students. And our students are human beings. And the question is, how does a human being learn? We human beings, we learn from different aspects. First of all, we must have information. And this information is around us. We catch that information all over, or our teachers are giving us that information. This is the first step of learning. This is important didactic communications. Because if we teachers don't have a good narration, the communication doesn't flow. If we are not using the proper body language, it's difficult because we learn through different channels simultaneously. If we have some support in diapositives which are making the synthesis of what we are transmitting, helps. So we have different channels working at the same time. So it's communication, didactic communication. But this doesn't guarantee, this doesn't mean that if we make a good didactic communication that our students can learn. They must make their constructivist work, which is building their own knowledge. And this is the second step. You say, we can say, but they can do it by themselves. No, it's important that still teacher support, in guidance, in promoting interactivity, in promoting permanent assessment, in order for the student control if they are really make the good learning. Otherwise, they can be convinced that he is learning, but he is not really learning what it's the target, which is the objective of what we are trying to teach. So these are different steps in the learning process. And as you mentioned, the teacher is an important piece of this process. Otherwise, teachers would be need for nothing, because students could be learn by themselves. This is important. Teachers should know to behave in their, let's say, professional activity in order to facilitate the learning process of our students. But we can do it in different formats. Okay, in the process of transmitting information in didactic communication, we can do it, let's say, face-to-face, or we can make a very good video and publish on demand. And students can face the first contact with what we want to teach. Okay? But another step is the constructivist step. And in this constructivist step, we can make it in presence. It's very important, the relation with teacher and student, but we can do it as well in virtual format. We are here today making this in virtual format. 3 weeks ago, I was in Poland, in Silesia, making it in presence. But you don't see very much difference on this. The only difference is I could not shake your hand. I could not have a meal with you, which was very nice and very friendly. But from the technological point of view and the methodological point of view of teaching and learning, we can do today with a very efficient process and very our communication like this. You see, now I'm having this meeting with you, which is very interesting, but in the afternoon I will have another meeting with Germany. If I would have my private aircraft, it would be very difficult to do this, flying in the morning to Poland and in the afternoon to Germany, and maybe in the end of the day to South America. But with this technology today, it's absolutely possible, friendly, and maybe next day or next week we will meet in Caribbean Islands for a meeting, not for working, but for, let's say, personal relationship. This is the future. This is, you see, we don't need to be presence for learning, because we can do the process of integration knowledge can be do with such a different and fast and technology. I understand that with my age, I have 20 years old, more or less, a little bit more, but you see today, our life is very much different than it was 20 years ago. But you cannot even imagine what will be the teaching and learning process in 20 years. I cannot. I have no idea what it will be, but I'm sure it will be different. I hope I have answered to your question.
Thank you very much for your answer. In my opinion, the division between technology and real teacher is like in the construction, in building forming. when transport of bricks, transport of materials is given by mechanical elements, for example trucks, but formation of this building and organization of this bricks into the building must be done by the human being because of idea which must be given information of these bricks into building. We talk that formation of knowledge, formation of wisdom is like building formation, building construction, and we need material. It means facts, information, data, and so on. But element of construction, element of organization of these elements into proper building is must be done by human being, by master who presents how to organize this this collection of information into knowledge, and how form on the base of this knowledge the wisdom. This is my opinion.
I'm not 100% agreeing with you. I agree 200% with you. Why? Because technology without methodology is nothing. Is something that destroys the teaching process. Technology should be perfectly integrated with methods. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Thank you. Dziękuję bardzo, panie profesorze. And our time is short, but I hope organizers let me ask you one question. Czy ktoś z Państwa jeszcze ma pytanie? Jeśli nie, to może ja zadam swoje. I have, Antonio, my question, the most important for me. I noticed that you work on University of Extremadura, located in autonomous community of Extremadura. You have collaborated with Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México. You have collaborated with Udmurt State University in Izhevsk, capital city of the Udmurt Republic, Udmurta Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic before. By me, for those communities, it's very important that educational media opposite to a global commercial dominant mainstreaming media. I noticed that students in learning strongly represent the local communities. Do you agree with me that e-learning can support and reinforce local and national communities?
You see, in the past, we have totally different cultures. We have, let's say, a Western culture, Far East culture, Inca culture, Maya culture, many different cultures. Today, cultures are being much more integrated, are being much more together. We have a globalization not only of the economy, but as well of cultures and processes. I have, as you mentioned, worked with many universities, with many different cultures, and I think for us to work as teachers with different cultures, or let's say with different language environments, it's not only necessary that you know the language to communicate, but you know the basis of the different cultural approaches. Even if you know to speak Chinese, you cannot be a teacher in Chinese environment if you don't have the proper cultural behavior in that environment. When I say China, I'm saying about Japan or India, because they are cultures we are so different from our culture, our European culture. For me, being teaching in Poland, or for you being teaching in Portugal or Spain, it will not be very difficult if you have the translation process working. But why? Because our behavior, our cultures are very much similar, are very near. And this is a very important ingredient for us to communicate in the present or in the future. This is for me the most important ingredient for cooperation, because technology, it's very easy today. If you have the necessary skills, if you have the necessary the budget enough for that, that will not be any difficulty. But being integrated in this cultural environment, that it's a little bit difficult. I have, for instance, punctuality. For several cultures, it's absolutely necessary to be in the right minute. We say 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock, not 9 o'clock 2 minutes. It's 9 o'clock. But for other cultures, it can be 9 o'clock, 9:10 or 9:50. It is not so important. This is just a little example, and many other things. For instance, when I'm in Spain and I'm working with my colleagues and say, "Oh, you are a very nice girl, you are a very beautiful woman," and so this is no problem at all, because people, it's polite to say this. But in another cultures, if I say this, they say, "Okay, he's being very incorrect saying that to me." You see, this is difficult to know the proper way of doing it, the things.
Thank you very
I
much.
don't know if it was exactly your question, but I think it was the feeling of what I felt, your question.
It is a very complicated problem. All time is short, so I thank you for your lecture and discussion. It was an important event on our conference. I hope we will cooperate in the future with you as the competent specialist in area of e-learning, methodology of distance learning and multimedia education. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to hear your lecture, rich answer, and inspiring opinions. Thank you, and bye. I hope we meet in the next conference in Lisbona, Extremadura or Krakow. Thank you very much, and bye.
Yes, it will be a pleasure for me to cooperate with you as well, and we will meet for sure. Doesn't matter where it will be, but we will meet. And I have to inform you that our meeting has been recorded, and I will publish after it, and I will send the link to you for those who want to see it again and reflect about it. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be with you. Till next time.
We send the link to the participants of the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Włączenie.
Proszę Państwa,